Hi, welcome to part 5 of the 6-part series looking at how to create a maze game using Python. In this part, we are going to create a congratulations screen to congratulate the user when they complete the game. We're going to create a fade effect so that the transition between the levels and from the levels to the congratulations screen is nice and smooth. And we will also look at various different ways of saying congratulations in different languages. So we're going to be starting on the main.py document, and we're going to set up some more game variables. We're going to have run fade, which is false, and we're going to have the fade counter, which is initially set to 0. We're then going to go and start creating our congratulations screen. So again, we're going to define a method to create this, and we're going to call it congrats screen. And we are going to fill the screen with the background color. And then on top of this background, we are going to create and draw a rectangle. And this rectangle is going to be drawn on the screen and will be in the color of the line color, and it will start at 4848 and will be the screen width minus 96 wide and the screen height minus 96 high. What this will do is it will produce a rectangle on the screen that is 48 pixels from each edge. We are then going to draw on top of that another rectangle, and this will be in the color of the bar, and this one will be drawn 50-50 from the top corner and will be the screen width minus 100 and the screen height minus 100. So this one will be a rectangle centered on the screen that is 50 pixels. So in essence, there will be a 2 pixel border around a rectangle. We are then going to use the draw text helper method to write congratulations on the screen in the text color, and this one will be placed so it is approximately halfway across the screen and is positioned somewhere relatively near the top of the box. So the screen height divided by 2 minus 175. Beneath that, we are going to write gefeliciteerd, which is Dutch for congratulations, and again this will be drawn on the screen in the text color and will be positioned just below congratulations, again roughly centered within the box. We are then going to repeat this with felicitaciones, which is Spanish for congratulations, and complimenti, which is Italian for congratulations. Again, these will be drawn within the rectangle, approximately centered horizontally on the screen below congratulations and gefeliciteerd. Moving down, we need to update the game loop to say only run the game code if we haven't finished the game. So everything before the event handler is getting indented. And then we are going to add the instructions of what to happen if it is finished. So if we have finished, we are going to run the congratulations screen. So congrats screen. So moving up, and we're going to set the level at a level that doesn't exist. So when writing this code, there was 30 levels. So on level 31, it should immediately go to the congratulations screen as we just saw. And then changing it back to 1, we can see that we get the level. So that is now working. We are now going to write a fade class within the main.py file. So we're going to set up the class. So class screen fade, and we are going to initialize our screen fade. So defining the initialization, we are going to take in our self, the color, the speed of what we want the fade to be. So the color of what the fade rectangles are going to be and how fast we want them to move. And we're going to assign self.color to be color, self.speed to be the speed that's been inputted, and self.fade counter to be equal to 0. And then we are going to define a method called fade. And this fade is going to refer to itself. We're going to set whether the fade is complete to false. And we're then going to increase the fade counter by the speed. And what we are programming in at the moment is a whole screen fade. I'm going to have 4 rectangles that start meeting in the middle and then move to their respective sides of the screen. So one rectangle is going to take up the whole left-hand side of the screen. One's going to take up the whole right-hand side of the screen. One's going to take up the whole top half of the screen. One's going to take up the whole bottom half of the screen. But each of these are affected in some way by the fade counter. So the first one will have its position decreased by the fade counter. Another will have its X position increased. One will have the Y position decreased, and one will have the Y position increased. So they will all, depending on the speed, move out and off the screen. And if the fade counter gets to the point where it is greater than or equal to the width of the screen, then it will declare the fade has been completed and will set fade complete to true. And then the fade method will return whether the fade has been completed or not. Returning to just before the game loop, so just after we have set up the maze, we are going to initialize a variable called fade, and this will be a screen fade that has the color of the background and speed 4. Moving down into the loop, we are looking at the finish first. So if the fade counter is 0, we're going to set that we want to run the fade, so run fade is true. And we're going to increase that fade counter by 1, and then we're going to run our congrats screen. We are then going to write some code that tells the system what to do if run fade is true. So if run fade is true, we want to ask if the fade of the fade has been completed. And if it has been completed, we're going to set that we don't want to run the fade anymore because we've finished. And we're going to set our fade counter back to 0. So testing that this now works on the last level, we're going to set level to 31. And as you saw, we got a nice fade into the congratulations screen. Moving this so that it does it when we complete a level. Again, we go down to our game loop and we find where we're calling for the next level. So in this one, if the level is complete, we're going to again set run fade to be true. And then let's move back up and set the level back to 1. And let's complete level 1 and see what happens at the end of it. As you can see, when we reach the ladder, we get the fade out to the next level. And that brings us to the end of part 5. Join us in the next part to implement the start screen and a pause menu.